So today I'd like to discuss a little bit more of the polarity and specifically Kundalini Shakti and what that entails. So what Kundalini Shakti is, it's a coil-like serpent energy that starts around the base of the spine, releasing itself through the crown from the top of the head. And what this does in essence is purifies emotionally, spiritually, and physically all those old energy points, opening up your chakras and cleansing yourself in order to make room for new growth and basically clearing out any old karmic ties that you have to this present, past, and future lifetimes. In a way, it's kind of like a dissolution of the darker part of the ego, which is going to open you up to more abundant and receptive energies in the future and in the present as well, which also helps clear out any karmic ties that you may have from the past. And a really good example of this is Shiva and Parvati, actually. You can look at their story and see that this is exactly what it's about as far as divine union is concerned. You can also look at entities and beings such as Samael and Lilith as well. And there are a few others, but specifically I would more touch on Samael and Lilith as well as Shiva and Parvati, because those are really great examples as far as what we are here to do. This is our purpose in this life, is to clear out all of that energy and to make room for new energy. If you want to go a little bit deeper on this as well, you can look at the tarot. As an example, you can look at this through the Emperor and the Empress. This is the earth-like energy. This is the creative and grounded earth energy. And then if you want to go further into the Magician and the High Priestess, this is that energy that comes from that expression of the Emperor and the Empress. This is where it takes form and you begin to see sort of that product of what the Emperor and the Empress have come to do. So the Emperor and also the Magician, those are more the grounded energy. It's more of the giving, ambitious drive force, the creative force. The Priestess and the Empress would be more of the inner knowing, the intuition, and it's more based on a soul level. And the thing is, you have to have both of these energies, the anima being the feminine energy and the animus being the male energy or the masculine energy. And these two need to come together in balance, whether you are male or female. It's not about gender, it's about energy here. So this is what we're discussing that for, is because when you have that imbalance, this is when things start to become quite chaotic. And so when you have that Kundalini awakening, that serpent energy arising from the base of your spine, coming out from your crown, this is when things become more balanced and purified, and you're able to actually be both in the receptive and giving energy. Your creativity is balanced, and then you are able to be more productive and understand things on a deeper level, from like more of an esoteric point as well. The ideas start to flow a little bit better, although there are when you go through this sort of initiatory process, it's not comfortable at all, because you're dissolving old parts of yourself that need to be left behind in order to make room for this new growth and outlook on life. So overall, what we have with the divine union, I'll talk about that a little bit too here, because I do discuss that a lot and I feel like it's so important. And the thing is, this is something that we need to get back into for our own well-being, for the state of the way things are on this planet right now. A lot of people don't understand or realize the importance of it. And it's, as I said before, the thing is, when you are looking to, what I would say is, initiate into this type of energy, because that's what it is. This is an initiatory process. And a lot of people are very uncomfortable dealing with that, because the thing is, we've been conditioned to see relationship as very one-sided. Like, what can I get from this? And without actually going inward and working on yourself and understanding, like, where are you as a person? What are your core values? And what can you actually contribute to the betterment of mankind as a whole, because that's what divine union is specifically, is when you come together with somebody. This is for the growth of not only yourself but your partner, and the betterment of mankind as well, because when you come together, you're able to see things in a way that you wouldn't have been able to previously just on your own. This is about soul expansion and evolution on such a deep level. And the thing is, no competitive aspects can exist within a union like this, because it's all about balance and polarity. So collaboration, expressing the same vision, basically. You have to come together with the same vision and align. Otherwise, things kind of fall apart very easily. And you have to be willing to set aside personal differences and actually recognize the value that each other holds, because this is where growth happens. A lot of people get together with somebody not doing the inner work, and this is where people become deeply triggered. And the thing is, you're going to become triggered regardless, whether you are with someone you think is for you or not, because this is a part of that soul evolution as a whole anyways, is things are going to be triggered within us to help us evolve, and that's the only way that we can grow. And sometimes when you are in a divine union specifically, there are triggers that will come up that would have never come up on your own or with a partner that is unconscious on a soul level. So yeah, basically you're here to raise your own consciousness in a way that could be, you can take this a lot deeper when you are in a divine union with somebody who has both of those polarities balanced, the divine masculine and feminine energies. And as I said, I would really look into more of Shiva and Shakti's story if you guys are interested in that. I absolutely have gained so much of a new perspective working with these energies over the last 3 years, and this has definitely shifted my awareness on so many different things and various levels. So this is like basically in essence the ultimate goal when you are actually wanting to dive deeper into that Kundalini awakening. You're going to see things shift on such a level that you would not have been able to without that spiritual awakening. And another thing is that people have to realize, we need to understand that if you are not actually ready to dive deep into the healing work on your own first, it's almost impossible to be able to hold that space for someone on the opposite side. Like, the divine masculine and feminine energies have to first be balanced within yourself to be able to possibly hold that space for another person. Otherwise, that energy is going to be quite turbulent and could possibly devour you inside out, because this is a thing that a lot of people these days, they don't look within, and this is why they cannot hold space for others. And this is any type of relationship, okay? This is family, friends, colleagues, partnerships of any kind. If a person is not doing the inner work and cannot sit with their own emotions and feelings first, it's impossible for them to be in union with a person that has done the inner work and the shadow work and that trauma healing, etc. Because this is going to really trigger them. And this is why a lot of people end relationships and friendships and things like this just so quickly these days, because things like that make them very, very uncomfortable, because it brings up and stirs things within themselves that they have not yet faced. And it can be quite triggering. But the thing is, if you're here to grow, which we all are here for that purpose initially, it's going to make it that much easier to actually be able to sit with those feelings and that energy. And the thing is, I see people all the time that say things, and I've worked with clients that have told me like they're wanting to find their person, okay? But the thing is, as I said, you have to first be able to sit with your own emotions and feelings and actually integrate those, sit with them and feel them and connect with them on a deep level and really learn and grow from that. And then you will be able to be ready to actually sit with another person and accept them fully and completely as they are too. Because a lot of the time, what I notice is also is that people sometimes may be comfortable with their own emotions, but then once they enter into a union, things become too heavy for them to where they are still uncomfortable and they cannot sit with the other person and understand their feelings, because the divine masculine and the divine feminine are two different energies. They're two opposite ends of the spectrum, but they balance and complement each other. And this is where the true work begins. This is where we're able to fully integrate everything that we may not have seen on our own, and we can do a deeper reflection on those energies and understand each other so much better. But you have to be able to really truly want to work within yourself first and be ready to experience that with another person, because if you're not, that's not going to feel good for you. And we don't want to hurt other people in the process. That's not why we're here, although that can be used for our growth, of course, but this is not the goal. The goal is to first integrate all of those wounds and feelings, which in turn clear out past karmic debt from past, present, and future as well. So when you are actually ready and able to sit with your own energy, integrate it, not shame yourself, then you won't be able to shame others either. It's a really important balance that needs to be done, this kind of work, before you are able to sit with someone else other than yourself. The work within a union, I feel, can be very helpful if you are ready for it, because this will take you so much deeper than you would have gone just on your own anyways. But the most important thing is really integrate your feelings first and allow yourself that expression and freedom and creativity to dig deep and really get to know yourself, and without shame or restraint, because that is why we're here. We're here to evolve. This is the soul's evolutionary path. And when you enter into union with somebody, this can be the most exciting time for you, but it can also be very challenging. And that is the thing. In reality today, we're taught that, you need to settle down, do this in this way, on this time, etc. But it was never supposed to be like that. Unfortunately, nowadays, we're totally disconnected from our spirituality unless we go within and find that for ourselves. So it's a lot harder these days, but it can be done. It's just more of a, I guess, challenging way to experience today, as it would have been many years ago, where we were more connected spiritually and intuitively. So this would have been such an easier process, but we live in a different paradigm right now. So it takes more work and more effort on our part to be able to get to that place and use discernment. Another thing I wanted to say that was quite important also was that if you are in a place where and this is how you will probably realize you are on that path, because not everyone is on the soul path of finding, aligning with their divine union in this lifetime. But I feel that many will be now, because of the reality shifts that are occurring. And this physical reality today is so different. And the thing is, this is an initiatory process that is going to help the betterment of mankind and help us to evolve on such a deep level that we have not witnessed in so many years. And the thing is, when you are on that path, if you feel you are on that path, you're going to notice so many distractions around you. And that's where you really have to use discernment and understand where you stand and hold firm to your boundaries, because there are going to be people coming in and out of your life, testing and challenging you to see if you're actually really willing and ready to continue down that path. But if you're not, of course, there's going to be stumbling blocks along the way regardless, but it'll be a lot easier for you to fall if you are not fully trusting your body and yourself and holding true to your values and not just looking at things from an outside perspective. because I feel like a lot of times things come to us when we don't expect them, because that's just the way life is sometimes. But also, you can't look at things so outwardly all the time, because a lot of this programming that's been put upon us is outward conditioning, like, oh, you need to have someone that is doing this kind of work, they need to look like this, they need to speak like this, etc. And that is very surface level, and that's not what we're here for. The thing is, you never know how things are going to look for you until you actually feel that within your body. You're going to understand better when you are aligned more with your intuition and you understand your your core values, because your core values are important. Those are the things that really need to align, because if you're here to do the work with another person, you have to align with the same core values. That is so important. Otherwise, this is why I feel like a lot of people split ways so quickly, because their core vision does not align, and they just see things from the outward perspective of, this is comfortable, this looks good, this feels good for now, but then you start to slowly dissolve and part ways, because those core values have not aligned from the beginning. And yeah, that is the most important thing. And this is why I would always call it like an initiatory path, because this is the path that's going to elevate your consciousness on such a deep level that you would not have been able to do completely on your own. So yeah, I would think about it like this.